We'll continue with Ole Miss. Austin is ready for your questions. Who would like to ask the first one? We'll start over here on the left on the third row.
Hey, Austin, been a few weeks.
Yes, sir.
Manning Passing Academy. AP Stidham of AP as we see it. Austin, how can you be successful in a Lane Kiffin passing offense? What are the things that you need to accomplish?
Of course, with our tempo offense, we're moving so fast. So being able to process information at a quick speed, and also just preparation really goes into a lot of things. So just being so well prepared that you can know, you can identify every single defense that you see in front of you each and every play. You know what's going on in front of you. You know what to expect.
Left side, fourth row.
Hey, Austin, I know you were in the Manning Passing Academy with Lenora Sellers this summer. I'm just curious, as a fellow SEC quarterback, what's your evaluation of his talent as a player? And I feel like you guys are kind of in similar shoes in terms of where he was last year.
His game speaks for himself. He's definitely a unique player. He's a great size on him, obviously. He's a great runner. He's a great passer. So he's really just good all around.
Go on the front row here.
Dick Cox with Cox Sports Broadcasting, Lindy Sports. I know last year you had to watch and learn, but what were some of the biggest things that you learned by watching the games last year that you think you can apply this year?
Definitely controlling the storm. Seeing adversity is going to strike, in this conference. Each and every game is going to be competitive. And obviously seeing how Dart just handled each and every type of adversity you face throughout the game, if you throw an interception or something like that, just really just stand calm and not freaking out.
Go here in the middle, third row.
Austin, you guys have 9 games in the state of Mississippi, 8 of them being in Oxford, the other one obviously at Mississippi State. But how big is that, do you feel like, to play in front of your guys' fans for, the majority of the season?
That's great for us. Our community is so well-rounded around the program. So, of course, just feeling that energy each and every, for what, 8 games? Yeah, so we have 8 games in Oxford. Just feeling that energy 8 times, on one day or night, it's just an amazing feeling because that stadium gets loud. Man.
Middle section, third row.
Austin, pleasure to meet you again. David Edelstein, the sports director at WJTV, the CBS station in Jackson, Mississippi. We spoke with Coach Kiffin earlier today, and he talked about how you've been growing so much already as you've taken on this, role as the starter. We saw you come in against Georgia last year and immediately have that impact with the touchdown. When you're following up, Dart, not that you're in a shadow or anything, to be clear, but that you're making your own kind of play and offense and everything, what's the process for you to work with the coaches that are returning and find your style and find the way that the offense can work for you at the same time as you're following up something that's been really successful for a while and you want to play into that as well?
I really think it all comes down to the off season, just building that chemistry, on and off the field with your players. You have so many new faces coming in. Probably have 60 new players coming in. So just being around them and just making sure they have a great grasp of the offense and just really making sure that we're on the same page with my coaches.
Right side, second row.
Alex Byington on 3. Kind of along those lines, Lane mentioned there is inherent pressure to follow Ole Miss all-time leading passer in that role. What pressure do you kind of put on yourself, and then how do you deal with that going into the season?
I don't really put any pressure on myself. I just think that I just have to just forge my own legacy rather than just keep on building off from what Jackson did and his success. I just have to play my own game and just keep on going and growing as a player.
Front row.
You're stepping into the spotlight this year in your role there. What's the most important thing you'd want people to know about you when they see you?
Oh, I'm putting everything on the line each and every play. You're never going to see me back down from a fight. I never flinch. And every single play is going to be 110%.
Awesome. David again. Where do you get your confidence from? When it was a memorable moment for me, and I think many fans, to see you come in against Georgia, and it wound up being such a crucial touchdown. Where do you get your confidence from, and what are you focusing on right now on how you want to improve heading into this season?
I definitely say the confidence comes from being from South Florida. I'm from Miami, and just being Miami's pretty known for having all those great athletes coming out. Jeremiah Smith, he's from Opelika. I live like 20 minutes from him, and really just being around like those top dogs, you know, and just competing with them at a high level, that just builds confidence on its own, and I just take it to college. But as far as like preparation, what I want to get better in, I'd just say everything when it comes to like my quarterback play. You know, there's not one thing I want to leave out, and just really want to make sure that my game is close to perfection by the time the first game is. Yes, sir.
Stay on the middle.
Thanks. Just to follow up on that too, Austin. For you coming in, a lot of players in this world that we're in now don't want to be a backup quarterback, and not that anyone wants to be the backup, but there's opportunities for guys who are as skilled as you to go start somewhere else. Why did you choose to be there through a year like last year, where there's already an established quarterback, learn and get to the point now where in a world of transfer portals and NIL and I can go anywhere, that you stayed and now you're going to be the starting quarterback, having already a year under your belt, seeing this past very successful season?
I mean, because of like the unique like recruitment I had, coming in, I was a 2025 recruit, so this is technically seemed like my true freshman year, if you really think about it. But I think just like taking time, like just like learning and just like seeing everything in front of me, and like really just seeing like how Dart, prepared and stuff like that, and also just baseball is also a factor too, because I was playing two sports there. So that's always just been like, my main goal is just like learning and progressing as a quarterback.
Left side, third row.
Austin, every year there's usually a surprise with a team, maybe offense, defense. Is there anything that you can share with us that might be a surprise with this Ole Miss team?
I'd say this team is very competitive. We talk a lot of smack when it comes to like, OTAs and stuff like that. Even when it comes to like runs, like we always talk a little smack, and basically we have guys out there going 110% each and every rep, and like that's what I love about this team. This team doesn't back down, but I just can't wait to see like how we handle adversity, during games, and seeing like how like we just respond.
Right side, second row.
Austin, how have you, Tyler Cummins, 24/7 Sports, how have you seen Caden Lee kind of grow from 2023 to now, and what are your expectations for him?
I mean, he's a very consistent player. I'll tell you that right now. He's always in the right spot. He's always doing the right thing. I mean, the stats speak for itself. He had 0 drops last year, over 900 yards, and then we have some other top dogs coming in as well. Just like filling those spots of what we lost this past season. So seeing like him as an overall player, like I just can't wait to see what he's going to do this season.
Final question, right side, fourth row.
Jada Ferris with WAFB in Baton Rouge. The last few times y'all played LSU, it's come down to those last-minute plays. How are y'all working to protect early leads as the season comes?
So I think it's just like, it all like just comes down to just what type of mindset you're going into the game with. Just like, are you out there just wanting to like just be out there, or are you going to dominate? I'd say, just always like being on your craft. And also I come from like a big rivalry game back in high school. We played in the Mug Bowl. That's between Pahokee and Glade Central. So I'm always really familiar like with those type of games. And I just can't wait to play.
Thank you very much, Austin. Good job.
I appreciate y'all.